Okay, so we have a question right here. So let's say let u equal to 2, 0, 1. So this is a vector. So let's say vector u equal to 2, 0, 1 and v equal to 1, 0, 1, 2, 0, 0, 2, 1. So now let's say compute it 3v minus 2u. So let's see how we're gonna compute this. It's easy. So for the first one, we're gonna have to compute it 3v minus 2u. So 3, and we know vector v. What is a vector v? V is 1, 2, 0. So it's 1, 2, and 0, and then we minus 2. What is a vector u? A vector u 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1. So it's easy. What we're gonna do, we're gonna multiply that out. So let's multiply. 3 times 1 equals to 3. 2 times 3 times 2 equals to 6. And 3 times 0, 3 times 0 means you multiply in. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. And 3 times 0 equals to 0. And then we minus 2. Minus 2. Minus 2. And then we say minus 2 times 2 equals to 4. With minus 2 times 2 equals to 4. 2 times 0 equals to 0. And 2 times 1 equals to 2. Okay, so next step, we can subtract normal because it says 3 minus 4 equal to negative 1. And now 6 minus 0, 6. And then 0 minus 2 equal to negative 2. So this is vector 3v minus 2u. So the final answer for that. So now we go for the second one. For the second one, okay, whenever somebody give you, okay, that sign that means magnitude of a vector. So before we get magnitude of a vector, let's find this one first. Before we start with it, those magnitude. So I'll show you now how to get magnitude. If somebody give you, for example, let's say this is vector Nile River equal to 1, 3, and negative 4. So let's say find the magnitude of vector Nile River. So meaning magnitude of vector Nile River, meaning magnitude of vector which vector? 1, 3, and negative 4, vector Nile River. So how are we going to get magnitude? Means you're going to take this n and plug it in here. These values in n will plug in here. Then after that, so we say this magnitude, meaning you're going to put square root in the square each number. Means square the first one, plus square the second one, and plus square the last one. And the final answer you're going to get, that's going to be magnitude of vector Nile River. So 1 square equal to 1 plus this is going to be 9, and this plus 4 square is going to be equal to 16. And then the square root. So this is going to give us 25 plus 1 equal to 26 square root. So this is going to be magnitude of vector Nile River equal to 26 root unit. So that's a length for this thing. So I'm saying. So now we're going to do the same approach here. So first and foremost, look at u plus v, and then we minus w, and then after that we're going to find the magnitude. So this is not part of the equation, so I'm going to just erase it quick. Okay, so let's get first u plus v minus w. So this let me say magnitude, we know our vector u. What is our u? Our u equal to 2, 0, 1. So we're going to say 2, 0, and 1, and then we have to plus v. What is a v? 1, 2, 0. So v equal to 1, 2, and 0, and then we have to minus w. What is a w? 0, 2, 1. W 2, 0, 2, 1. So you have to minus 0, 2, and 1, and then we have to get the magnitude. After we finish, we gotta get magnitude. So let's go. So we're gonna say this. Let me say. So this let me say. Now, so we're gonna say 2 plus 1 is 2. Excuse me, 2 plus 1. Man, that's a grade 1 math, man. If there's a grade 1 student but must be laughing at me like, man, he can't even add 2 plus 1. So we're gonna say 2 plus 1 equal to 3, and 3 minus 0 equal to 3. So we're going to say, okay, so V is going to give us 3. Also have magnitude. Okay, now we go for the second one. So it's going to be 0 plus 2 means 0 plus 2, because there's a plus here. 0 plus 2, 2 minus 2 0. So we're going to have 0 in the middle. Now we go the middle. So now we go for the last one. So we got 1 plus 0 is 1 minus 1, 0. So we got 0 here, the last one. So I'm saying, so now let's go, man. So after that, so we have to get the magnitude of this. So the magnitude of this is easy. So this, let me say, square root. Okay, the first number is going to be 3 square. Plus the second number is 0 square. Plus the last number is 0 square. Which is going to be 9 square. Or you say 3 square, square. Because this is 0, 0. So 3 square, square root. And now this and this cancel. So magnitude of all these vectors equal to 3 because cancel. Or sometimes we say 3 square equal to 9. Or some people might say square root of 9 because 3 square equal to 9. And square root of 9 equal to 3. You know what I'm saying? So we got it. So now the magnitude of all these vectors equal to 3. So we say, okay, so now magnitude of u plus v minus w equal to 3 units. You know why? Because the distance is magnitude. Magnitude is like a distance. 3 units. So now we go for the next one. So question 3 say u cross v. U cross v and then we dot w. Easy. So let's cross in here. So let's start face with u cross v. So for the third one, so it's u cross v, and then when you get your answer, and then dot w. So let's start with u cross v. So let's see how we can tag u cross v. It's easy, man. So we're gonna say u cross v. It's u cross v, meaning. So we're gonna cross. This is how you cross the vector. You say I, j, and chi, and then what is our u? Vector u in the first one is 2, 0, 1. So this is going to be 2, 0, 1. Now vector v, vector v equal to 1, 2, 0. It's going to be 1, 2, and 0. Let's cross, man. Cross is easy. So first and foremost, I want you to know this, guys. Okay, whenever you have a number, the face always positive. Whenever you have whenever you have a vector, whenever you have a matrix, because this is look like is a matrix, right? Even though we cross products, but it's a matrix. So whenever you have a matrix, it doesn't matter. It could be 3 by 3, it could be 4 by 4, it could be 5 by 5. So you should know this very important. So say the first number should be plus, the second number must be negative, the third number must be plus, negative, plus, but it starts with the positive. So you go the same way when you go down. When it's positive, it has to be negative. Yes, sir. And this is going to be positive, and this is going to be negative. So of course, this is going to be positive, negative, like you have to change this code. So this negative goes positive, positive, negative, negative, positive, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. So it depends how far you want to go. Like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. So if I want to put 5, minus, plus, minus, plus. So it depends. Like here, if 3 rows and 3 columns. Rows means these lines here, which is horizontal. So I'm only going to use this. 3 rows and 3, oh, excuse me, my problem, only this. 3 rows and 3 columns. So let's see how we can find the determinant of 3 by 3 matrix. Means now we find the cross product. So we say, okay, the first term is I. You start with the I. So if I use this term, you know what? You don't need this. You don't need this. So it means I use I. But I is positive, so I want to say positive. But even if I don't write positive, we know it's positive. Any number which you don't have a positive means positive. So I could say positive 3 for 1, but on the side. So if I start with I don't need this, I don't need this. So it means I'm going to check 0, 2, 1, 0. So 0, 2, 1, 0. Now you go for the j. That's how you get determinant. So j is negative. So that's what we say here, negative. Let's say j. Okay, so if I'm here, I don't need this, I don't need this. I'm here, I don't need this, I don't need this. So I'm going to use 2, 0, 2, 1, my approach, and 1, 0. So we go for the last one. For the last one is positive here. So positive, we're going to say positive, but a K. Okay. I'm here, means I don't need this, I don't need this. So I'm going to use 2, 1, 0, 2. 2, 1, 0, 2. So then after that, so let's get determinant now, which is going to be cross product. So now, from here, you have to find determinant of 2 by 2, which is easy, man. So I'm going to say this time, I say equal. So u cross v, equal. Now we're going to say I. Now, 0 times 0 equals to 0, and then we minus 2 times 1 equals to 2. And then minus j. Now we count for the second one. 2 times 0 is 0. Minus 1 times 1 equals to 1. And then we plus the last one, k. 2 times 2 equals 4. minus 1 times 0 equals to 0. So it's done, man. So what we're going to do now, we can squeeze, we can try to condense as far as we could. I mean, let's condense as possible we can. So we say, okay, 0 minus 2, negative 2, I. So negative 2, but it's I. Now we go for the next one. 0 minus 1 is negative 1. Times this negative 1 positive 1 j. So this is going to be plus what? 1 j. So it's like a j. Now we go for the next one. 4 minus 4 minus 0 is 4 times k plus 4k. It's going to be 4k because it's going to be 4 and that k 4k. Excuse me. So this is u cross v. So u cross v equal to that one. So u cross v equal to 2i equal to negative 2i and then plus 1j or j and then plus 4k. Or sometimes you could write in this form. If you don't want to write like this form, you can write, okay, let me write similar form. So I'm going to say similar form is going to be negative 2. You need to write on the number. So in vector, you can write this form on the next form. 2 and then number is 1, positive and 4. So this is u cross v. But we're not done yet. We have to dot with w. So we're going to say, okay, so I can just finish up here. Or I can finish up on top, no problem. So now, so this is u cross v. So for u cross v dot w. So u cross v dot w, I can just try to finish this question here. U cross v dot w. So we say u cross v, which we have already, and then dot w. So u cross v we have, which is negative 2, 1 and 4. Negative 2, 1 and 4. So we say negative 2, 1 and 4. So now we're going to have to dot. Dot what? W. What is a w? A w is 0 to 1. So we say 0 to 1 here. 0 to 1. So let's dot them. Easy. So we say negative 2, when you dot is easy, just multiply, then we add. Multiply, add. Now we go negative 2 times 0 equal to 0. And then we add 4 times 2. Excuse me, it's not 4, it's 1. 1 times 2, 2. And then we add 4 times 1, 4. And then we add this. You can sum them up. So 0 plus 2 plus 4 equals 6. So equal to 6. So when you cross u cross v, it w equal to 6. So okay. So finally, they done already. So we say okay. So u cross v dot w equal to 6. And the question is done. So now we go for the next one. Let's say projection. Excuse me. Projection of v Alright, so the projection of a vector is very easy. So projection of a vector, just okay. Let me write down for you here so you can know. So whenever somebody say project v, the question say, then let's come here to the question. So the question say, excuse me, projection of w and v means you project w and v. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna say, if somebody say projection v w vectors, you see this vector here, only right here, and then you dot with w. And then the denominator, make sure you square the magnitude of w and then times w again. What I mean, for example, if somebody gives something like this, let's say projection of non-river, and then civilization. So now you want to say this, let me say, you see this one here? Only right here. And the dot with C, everyone's going to be C, and then tag C means C square, means you take this C, find magnitude of the square, and then multiply by C again. Just simple as that. So only here you write whatever is here in front. And then other stuff's like dot with C, and then other denominator, find the square of the magnitude, and then multiply by C. Now let's see how we can do the question right there, man. So the question here, in this case, I'm going to write this for me. So let's say find the projection of W and V. So we're going to say projection W and V. So okay, it's easy. Projection, photo of W, V. So it's okay. So remember, like I say, whatever is here in front, you're going to write here. Dot with W, and then divide by the, see this magnitude of a vector, and then what you do is square, and then multiply by W again. It's easy. So what we have to do right now, we have to dot V and W, and then find the square of magnitude. That's all, and then the question is done. So let's get it. So now first and foremost, let's dot V and W. So V and W, so we say V dot W. Let's start there, man. So what is a V? So V, we got it. So V equal to 1, 2, 0. So 1, 2, 0. So we want to dot with W. What is a W? 0, 2, 1. 0, 2, 1. So 0, 2, and 1. So dotting is easy. V dot W equal to, now look, 1 times 0, 0, plus 2 times 2, 4, plus 0 times 1 is 0. So let's plus them all. So when you plus them, equal to 4. So V dot W, so here the one on top, we got it. So we're going to get what there? Magnitude of the square of the denominator. So first of all, get the magnitude of W. Okay, so our W, magnitude, meaning magnitude, what is the W? Our W is 0 to 1. So 0, 2, 0, 2, and 1 magnitude. So how are we going to get this? Easy, man. Magnitude we know. So we're going to have to square the face number, which is x. Let's square it, man. So this is going to be equal to 0 square plus 2 square plus 1 square. So which equal to? So which equal to? This is going to be 0. 0, 2 square, 4 plus 1 equal to 5. So square root of 5. So this is magnitude of W. But let's say magnitude of W squared. So what does that mean? Means if this is magnitude of W equal to 5 square root. So meaning if we square this, means you have to square this. So magnitude of W squared equal to this, and this constant equal to 5 unit. Just a 5 unit. You can just say 5 units is okay. Same thing. So now W we know. So what we're gonna do now, we can plug it in back. So let's plug it back. Let's plug it back to projection. Projection of photo. W and V equal to V dot W. We have it, which is 4 over square of the magnitude of a vector W, which equal to 5. And then what we're going to do now, we're going to multiply by our vector. Which vector? W. Like here, look, man. V dot W, 4. Which I say 4 here because we're substituting the formula. And then square of the magnitude of W, which equal to 5, which is this 5 here. So we multiply according to the formula by W. What is a W? 0 to 1. So here's going to be 0, 2, and 1. So it's done. So what we're going to do, we can just multiply this one in, multiply that out. So multiply that out. So this is going to give us, excuse me. Okay, 4 over 5 times 0 is going to be equal to 0. Okay, now 4 over 5 times 2 is going to be 8 over 5. Okay, now we go for the last one. 4 over 5 times 1 is going to be 4 over 5. So that's our final answer. If you want to write this decimal, you can do it too if you want. But it's not necessary, but that's the final answer. That's all. So projection of V, W, that's the final answer. So that's how you get it there. So now we go for the next one. Let's see, find the area of parallelogram bounded by U and V. Area of parallelogram bounded by U and V. So that's just easy. So what we're going to do here, okay, excuse me, this is 5. So area of parallelogram bounded by V and U, you say area equal to, that's how you get area of parallelogram bounded by U and V. So you cross the vector, you find magnitude of the whichever vector they mention. So this is a formula that's going to help you to get the area of parallelogram bounded by U and V. So this is a formula of area of parallelogram. Always cross those vectors that are going to give you an equation and find the absolute. Find the magnitude of those vectors. So find the that's area of parallelogram bounded by U and V. U and V area. So you put the magnitude. Okay. So let's go. So first and foremost, you have to cross those two vectors, right? So let's cross those two vectors. So let's cross. It's easy. So we're gonna have to cross U and V. So cross U and V. So we're gonna say okay. So I'm saying U means I'm gonna take this one first, and then I'll find the magnitude. U cross V. So I'll go fast a little bit now because you know the story. U, I, J, Chi. Okay, so now we go. I, J, and Chi. So what is a U cross V? What is a U? U is 2, 0, 1. So it's going to be 2, 0, 1. And V, what is a V? V equal to 1, 2, 0. So it's going to be 1, 2, 0. So guys, you know what we're going to do here? We have to find the determinant of this matrix. So we know the first number is going to be positive, just like explained in the previous example. So U cross W, cross V, my apology. So we're going to say plus I, because the first number is plus. So if I say plus I don't need this, I don't need this. So I'm going to use 0, 2, 1, 0. So 0, 2, 1, 0. The second number is negative, because positive, negative. So it's going to be negative, but which letter? J. So if it's J, means I don't need this, I don't need this. So I'm going to use 2, 1. And then I don't need this, I don't need this. 1, 0. Plus, the last one is plus. So plus or plus, Chi. Plus Chi. Now we say, okay, let me run my matrix. So if I'm here, I don't need this, I don't need this. So I'm going to say 2, 1, and 0, 2. So we got it, man. So what we're going to do, let's find the U cross V. Okay, equal. Okay, so we're going to say 0 times 0, 0, minus 2 times 1 is 2. This is I. Now we go for the next one. 2 times 0 is 2. 2 times 0 is 0. Oh man, if it's good 2 watching me make times table. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 0 is 0. And then 2 times 0 is 0. And then minus 1 times 1 is 1. Put a bracket and then what? Negative J. Now we go for the last one. So this is Chi. So 2 times 2 is 4. Minus 1 times 0 is 0. So what we're going to do now, let's finish the equation, man. So we say U cross V. Okay. 0 minus 2, negative 2. So it's going to be negative 2, but it's I. Now we come here. 0 minus 1 is negative 1. So negative 1 times negative, positive 1, but it's J. Now we go for the last one. 4 minus 0 is 4 times K is 4K plus 4K. Or sometime you could write like this. Negative 2. Negative 2, 1. And for the second one is 1. The last one is positive 4. So this is U cross V. So but we don't want U cross V. We just want to get the area of parallelogram bounded by U and V. So area parallelogram bounded by U and V. This is how you're going to get it. So let's get it. So we say, okay. So that's how we say we have to find the magnitude. So get a magnitude. So if this is U cross V. So we're going to say magnitude to get the area. It has to be magnitude of U cross V. Just like how you say here. So U cross V is negative 2, 1 and 4. 1 and 4. So this is U cross V. So to get the magnitude is easy. If I don't want to write this, I will say, okay, this same is here. Square root of the first one. So negative 2 square. Negative 2 square. And then we're going to say plus 1 square. And then plus 4 square. Okay, so area parallelogram equal to 2 square equal to 4. Plus 1 square equal to 1. Plus 4 square equal to 16. Okay, and this is going to be equal to square root of 21. Square root of 21. So since this is area, so this is going to be unit. Square root of 21. But if you put in the calculator down, you're going to get square root of 21 must be 4. Square root of 21 and put in the calculator, please. So it's going to be 4 point something. It's going to be 4.5826. So area is going to be 4.5826. Plug in the calculator, please. Unit square. You know why we say unit square? We say unit square because this is the area, so it could be centimeter square, it could be meter square, it could be kilometer square, depending on which area you measure. So now we want to go for the last one. So the space is finished. So what I'm going to do, I believe everybody understands. So just wait this part here, right? So wait a minute, this part man. So let's get away with this. Okay, we go. So now, excuse me, the last question is say find the equation of a plane parallel to u and v and passing through the tip of u. So this is easy. So equation of plane, okay, let me just tie this blackboard. So equation of plane, so let's separate here, man. So we know what to mix up two things together. So let's write the equation of plane first. So equation of a plane, so this is number 6, the last one, equation of a plane. The equation of plane, this is a form of equation of a plane. It say take normal vector and then you dot with x minus, okay, what are we going to minus here? When you minus, make sure we're going to say tip of what? U. So here you're going to say x minus that u. So this is how we're going to do the formula. Always equal to 0. So if you say tip of, when you see x minus, so that tip of this one is the one that you're going to write. If you say tip of w, so we're going to write w. Tip of Nile River, so we're going to say Nile River. Tip of Nile River civilization, so we're going to write that. So you saw the pen. What I'm going to say is tip of Soweto, so we're going to write here Soweto. Tip of Chicago, so we're going to write Chicago. Tip of Glenwood, right, Glenwood, so south like that. So let's go now. So we're going to say, excuse me, how are we going to get normal vector? Normal vector means how you always get normal vector for this case. Let's say equation of the plane parallel to u and v. So to get normal vector, this will call normal vector. Let me say, yeah, this is a normal vector. Normal vector. So how we get normal vector? Normal vector you get it by saying this normal vector, I'm going to get it by, look, equation of plane pi to u and v. So you take a u and you cross v. It's all plane. If they give other letter, make sure you use the other letter. But for this case, they say equation of plane parallel to, when they say parallel to u and v, or Nile River and Hamish. So you're going to say Nile River and Hamish, you cross them. You see, but for this case, it's like equation of plane parallel to u and v. So we're going to say u cross v, which we have it already somewhere here. We did it already. U cross v, we have it already somewhere here. This is u cross v. Of the same data, so because we use the same data. But if the data are different, I mean your information, then you're going to have to redo it again. Or if they give another u here in the last equation in another v, so make sure you cross the new u and v. But for this case, because you use the same source of information, so that means we're going to use u cross v, which we did already. So I'll say, okay, but this u cross v, we have it already. We did it already. So which is -2, 1, and 4. So -2, 1, and 4. So what we're going to do then? So what we're going to do, we can just substitute an equation. So we're going to say equation of plane is going to be, so normal vector we have, which is -2, 1, and 4. Then we have to dot according to the equation. Dot x. So when I say x, vector x, this meaning x, y, and z. So when I say vector x, say this is x, y, and z. So I'm going to say, okay, so this must be x, y, and z. Man, what you mean? This is a vector. Like here. Why do you say n? Because n, look, it has it. I mean, x, y, and z mean vector n. So x also, x, y, and z. So now we say, we're going to minus. Tip of u, what is the u? U is given, which is 201. 201. So after that, we're going to say equal to 0. So now we have to dot. The other thing is going to be fair if we're going to dot before we condense these two. So let's condense those two, and then we're going to dot products. So we're going to say, let's condense these. So we're going to say -2, because this one you can squeeze them. So okay, x minus 2 is going to be x minus 2. X minus 2, x minus 2, and then we're going to say comma, now y minus 0. So it's going to be y minus 0. And we go for the last one, it's going to be z minus 1, which is going to be z minus 1, the last one. So all these equal to 0. So now, yes, now we can dot. Because for the most case, you dot when you have a two group of 10. So you see here we have the first group of coordinates, and then we have a second group of coordinates. Meaning this is as a x, and this is as a y, the whole, and this is a z. So now we can dot. So how we dot? Dot meaning multiply, add. Multiply, add. So let's see how we can do here. So we're going to say the first 10 times the first 10 here in the second group, because look, this is like the whole one coordinate. It means this is x, this is y, this is z. and this is x, y, z. So when you dot, you know, take the x, multiply by x, and then you add, and then you add it. So now we say -2, and then we multiply by x minus 2, and then we add. Now we go for the second one. 1 times, okay, so it's going to be 1 times y minus 0, and then we add. We go for the last one. See, so the last one is going to be 4, 4, and then you multiply by z minus 1, and then it's going to be equal to 0. So what we're going to do, the equation is done. So let's multiply that out. So it's going to be -2 times x, it's going to be -2x. -2 times -2, it's going to be +4. Now we go for the next one. So it's going to be 1 times y equal to y. 1 times 0 is 0, so we don't need it. 1 times y, 1 times 0 is 0, I don't need that one. So plus 4 times z is 4z, and then 4 times 1 is -4. 4 times -1 -4 to 0. So now let's try to condense them as far as possible. Okay, so we say, okay, so start with x. X is just -2x. So what we're going to do now, let's try to put them together. So this +4 and -4, they're going to cancel. So we're going to be left with -2x plus y, and then plus 4z. So this is a question of plan. If you don't want to do it, you can divide by negative throughout, but that's a question of plan. Just in case, because it's a negative, so if, maybe let me just simplify further. But that's your final answer. I'm going to divide by negative, negative, negative. So which is going to give me x, 2x minus y, and then minus 4z. But there's no need to do that. So this is a final answer. I mean, this is a question of a plane parallel to u and v and passing through the tip of u. So now let's change. Let's say you pass through the tip of w. So let's just say, okay, you know what? Let's say pass through the tip of w. So whenever you give an equation, make sure you read that very careful. So if it's tip of w, means of course these gonna change here. So tip of w. So let's just do tip of w. So this was in the tip of u. This is for tip of u. Okay, so now let's assume we change the equation. So change equation. So I'm going to read this part, right? So let's read this part here. Let's assume we change the equation. But the equation was done for tip of u. So if it's tip of w, let's assume this is w now. So this is going to be tip of w. Let's assume it's tip of w. So even here, because here when they say tip of, whatever they say here, if it's a Nile River, tip of Nile River, meaning here we're going to put Nile River. If they say tip of so I'm saying civilization, means you're going to write it, whatever they're going to say, you insert the value here. So now tip of w, so we're going to have to change this value here. So we're going to go, okay, what about w? Our value of w is 201. So it's 201. So here's going to be 201. Oh no, 021. My apologies, 021. Sorry, 021. So w 021. So now what we're going to do here, we're going to find a equation of planning. So we do the same thing. Let's try to condense as possible to cool. So this is going to be -2 as it is. So this is going to be 1, this is going to be 4. Now we're going to dot. But before we dot, let's try to put them together. So x minus 0 is going to be x minus 0. And then we plus, excuse me, so I'm not dotting, so you don't plus. You condense these like the same coordinate. You can see the same bracket. So I'm not dotting for now. So we're going to dot products for now. You know what I'm saying? We'll try to condense it. So y minus 2 is going to be comma y minus 2. Means you put it, you try to write in a single coordinate like x, y, z. Now we go for the last one. For the next one, it's going to be z minus 1. So it's going to be comma z minus 1. So equal to 0. So now we can do dot product. So now we can dot. Let's dot them. So it's easy. So we can dot by saying these are dot products here. So we say -2 dot x minus 0. So -2, then we say bracket x minus 0. But you know when you dot, you must plus. Every time when you do dot products, make sure you plus between them. So now you go 1 times y minus 2. So say 1 times this times y minus 2 minus 2. Means y with y, and then we go for the last one, which is going to be z, which is 4, meaning the value of z coordinate. So plus, they say what? 4, it's just 4. And then these 4 is going to go with the last one, which is z minus 1. Equal to 0. So let's try to multiply that out to get the equation of the plane. So it's easy. So excuse me, -2 times x is going to be -2. Because x minus 0 is x. -2 times x is going to be -2x. Now we go for the second one. This is going to be, we have the plus y times 1 is y. 1 times -2, -2. Now we go plus 4 times z is 4z. And then 4 times -1 is -4 equal to 0. So we're done. So what we're gonna do is let's try to put them together. So let's try to extract all this code. Final answer. So it's gonna be -2x. Start to the x. Now we go for the y. Y is just plus. Y is z plus 4z. So 4z. Now we go for the number. We have it -2 and -4, which is gonna give us -6. So we finished, guys, man. So if you wanna simplify further, but that's the final answer, and this is a question for plan. And the general question for plan for most cases always like this, like ax plus by plus cz plus d equal to 0, which this you can see. A is equal to 2, and then b equal to 1, and c equal to 4, and d equal to -6. But that's not part of the equation, so equation just stop here. I was just saying this equation of a plane. And you can see this equation is in this format here. See, but when we don't have any number, make sure d equal to 0. But that's was not part of the equation. So if you was in tip of w, this will be the equation of a plane in the tip of w. But for previous question was tip of u. So you gotta pay extra attention when you're reading the equation, because if you don't read your equation carefully, if you don't read your equation carefully, means you're gonna misinterpret the equation. And now you're gonna be trouble now. See, so try to read your question careful. Like I say, man, if you face on my channel and you feel like this video was very helpful, please leave a comment. And whichever video that you want me to make, any video that you want me to make for you, just feel free to let me know. Like, hey man, I don't understand this topic, man. Please make such a topic. I mean, make such a video. All this question get a problem. I can always make a video for you anytime. You know what I'm saying? So peace and love, man. I love you guys, man. Peace and love.